Gina Virginia Casella and the Dragon Dreams Soul Tribe Collective are pleased to welcome Suze Gallaher. Suze is the founder of the Heart Space Center for Creative Change, co-founder of the Inner Awareness Institute and Love Out Loud initiative. For more than 30 years, Suze worked as a spiritual guide, mentor, and teacher, holding space for transformation through individual and group work, offering retreats and in-depth training programs. Suze is a contemplative soul, and she's the visionary author behind the Little One's Diaries. Her journey is one of profound spiritual discovery, fueled by a desire to help others recognize their divine spark that resides within every human heart. Through her series, Suze provides a sanctuary for reflection, guiding readers toward their truest spiritual identity. Her mission is simple yet sacred: to offer wisdom that illuminates the path of the little one as they navigate their unique journey toward divine potential and perfect wholeness. Suze also has a shamanic background and believes we're dreaming ourselves awake. Suze lovingly invites you to ask yourself, what are your dreams inviting you to do? Gina Virginia Casella and the Dragon Dreams Soul Tribe Collective, pleased to welcome Suze Gallaher.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm Suze Gallaher, and I'm thrilled to be here today. What a delight it has been. And I'm so honored that Gina invited me to share my story with each of you. And my story started with dreams from the time I was a very young child. And I knew at a very young age that I could control my dreams. Lucid dreaming, before I ever heard the term, before it ever actually became a thing in my life. And so I would just like to share with you some of the ways that dreaming has played a part in my awakening. Like Gina, I was raised as an Irish Catholic girl. Gina, not the Irish part, but I was raised in the Roman Catholic Church. And I was fascinated by the mysticism, by the angels, by the saints, by the spirits. And so the spiritual world was very familiar to me in that nobody told me that I couldn't talk to the angels, or nobody mentioned that the angels wouldn't come to visit me. So they became a big part of my life. And it was the beings in my dreams that actually deepened my understanding of the world and my part in the world and the greater universe. When I think I was somewhere between 7 and 8, the summer that I turned 8, I had the first encounter that I remember with what I call the star people. And the star people have been in my dreams since my earliest memories. But this was the very first time that I awakened, and they were right there next to my bed. And I wasn't frightened by them or anything. I was just really curious about them. And that began my journey into working with beings not of our current planetary system. So to begin with, I would like to speak to you about
sorry to interrupt, Sue. Do you want me to change the slides as you're talking, or are you going
No,
to do that on
no,
your end?
no, I'm going to do it here.
Oh, okay. Much. Just
I
thought I'd
didn't
check in
forget.
about that.
I didn't forget. Thank you. So that was just to give you some backup information. Um, the title of today's presentation is Dreaming Ourselves Awake. And as I said, I believe that dreams are a profound tool for our awakening. Answering the invitation. So our dreams come to us every night and issue us an invitation. The native people, the first peoples, believe that we dream our lives into existence, that our dreams are alive, that they present a creative impulse of consciousness that are driving us to our soul's highest expression, that dreams are a portal into personal and global transcendence. But it's up to each of us to accept that invitation. The universe, source, our dreams will never force us to go someplace that we want to go. They will continue to issue us invitations. And it's our free will to choose whether we will follow that path or not. They've been a powerful tool in my personal growth and my awakening. And I'll share a couple of those with you as we get further into the presentation. I believe that life is really a living labyrinth. And as we travel our path through this labyrinth, it takes us deeper and deeper into our truth and aligns us with our soul's purpose. So, what I would ask you today is, what are your dreams inviting you to do? I hope that whether you're a seasoned dream worker or you're just tipping your toes into the deep ocean of our dreams, that this presentation will have meaning for you. Adventures in dreaming. There are cultures that believe that it's all a dream, that everything that we experience in our waking reality is as much a dream as what we experience in our sleeping reality. Dreaming is a holistic process in that when we are asleep, our subconscious mind and our conscious mind work together to create harmony and balance between our internal worlds and our external worlds. There are unlimited varieties of dreams. There are healing dreams, processing dreams, big dreams, lucid dreams, hypnagogic dreams. The hypnagogic dreams are the dreams that we have just prior to going to sleep and just prior to awakening. There are visitation dreams where people who have crossed over will come to visit. And those dreams can be as real as sitting down and having a conversation with your very best friend. There are teaching dreams where you may be in a classroom environment, or you may have a very specific guide or ally walk you through a curriculum and explain to you step by step by step how a process works. Or you may be at a table in a council room where your guides will be discussing with you what your next grand adventure is going to be, or what your next mission is on your soul's purpose. I had a dream like that a couple of years ago. And in my dream, I was sitting at this really large table surrounded by these 12 luminous beings. And we were discussing what my next mission was. And I don't remember anything about the dream that we discussed, except for the very end when we were getting up and getting ready to leave the room, when a spirit being put his arm around me and said, Relax, Suze. Life is just a comedy. And I woke up laughing out loud because life is, in fact, just a comedy. So sometimes our dreams can be very, very humorous. And, but the truth of it is that each one gives us a piece of the puzzle that we are. And in constructing this mosaic of our magnificent lives. So, what does it mean to dream ourselves awake? It means that we actually take the time to work with our dreams. We actually pay attention to them just as though we were receiving a teaching from an honored teacher or a revered guru. The dream maker always provides exactly what we need for exactly when we need it. As human beings, we're hardwired to dream, period. It's how our bodies are made. We spend roughly a third of our lives in sleep. And in sleep, we know, science has told us, that our bodies restore themselves, they repair, and they rejuvenate. That's the same thing that happens to us spiritually, emotionally, mentally. We realign ourselves. We revisit our life's purpose. What's working well? What isn't working well? If we dream, for example, of predators in our dream, and in our dream we play every character. So if we have a wolf who's chasing a sheep, we're the wolf and we're the sheep. So that invites us to explore perhaps a conflict, internal conflict or external conflict. But the invitation is always there to go more deeply, to identify who the wolf is. Is it me? Is it a situation in my life? Am I feeling like a predator? Or is that a subconscious response to someone else who's influencing us in our workplace, for example? Our dreams create, as Chris may have said, or Alex may have said, a movie in our minds. And in that movie, every circumstance is about us. And every experience that we have, every emotion that we experience is as real as it would be in our outer reality. Our dreams are an invitation to boundlessness. In our waking world, we are confined by our 3D world, by the physical laws of nature. But in our dream world, we are boundless. There are no limitations. This is also, as well as a classroom, this is our playground. We get to choose what we want to do, how we want to do it. We get to choose our experience, and we get to play with this sense of boundlessness, of freedom, of absolute liberation. In dreams, everything is possible. They're the portal of expansion, that primal creative power of the universe. There are no limits in our dreams of what we create or what we discreate. What we don't want to experience, we can change. That's an important tool to bring back to our waking life. that power to choose, that power to change our experience in every moment. Dreams teach us that we're not bound by the conscious mind, by our thought programming or our cultural constraints. We are free to think new thoughts, to experience new beliefs. We're free to play dress up. I wonder what this feels like. I wonder what that feels like. I think one of the most important lessons that dreaming taught me was to trust myself, to trust my intuition, to trust my inner knowing. So the question is, how would your life be different if you trusted yourself completely? This is a question that my dreams invited me to pursue. And part of the invitation was couched in a very cryptic message. That message was to see the world thinly. And I remember seeing it in a dream as though it were on a billboard. It said there are 3 important things. And the first one was to see the world thinly. And at first, I didn't really understand what that meant. And I went back and worked with my dreams. What does it mean to see thinly? And ultimately, my guidance was to see through the veil of the illusion. That was the invitation. And many times there are many, many, many veils that we have to pull back in order to see thinly. But to have the courage to peel back those layers. And in doing so, that was how I ultimately learned to trust myself completely. So if you trusted yourself completely, the questions that I was asked were, what dreams would I dare? If I trusted myself completely, what passions would I pursue? If I trusted myself completely, what gifts would I share? And if I trusted myself completely, what mountains would I move? And I offer those questions to you. What's holding you back? If there is something holding you back, why don't you ask your dreams to help identify where those blockages are? Your dreams are your truest teachers, your wisest guides. And they speak to us from our subconscious mind, which speaks to us in images, which invites us to go deeper, to go beyond those thoughts that keep us bound, that can keep us trapped, that prevent us from moving those mountains, from sharing our gifts, from pursuing our passions, and from daring to live our dreams. So the first step in accepting the invitation is just saying yes. Yes, I want to work with my dreams. And trust the dream maker to show up with joy and delight, with magic and whimsy. Your dream maker will take you places that you never imagined you could go. As soon as you set the intention, the portal opens and the teaching begins. Your dreamer maker has a curriculum for you, and it will evolve as you evolve. I encourage you to be patient with yourself and with the dream making process. Record your dreams in whatever way works for you. Dreams can be very ephemeral, so it is important to take them from your dream space and bring them into your waking reality. Whether you write them down, whether you record them into your iPhone, no matter what you do, just make sure that you bring it with you. Even the tiniest dream fragment has value. And I invite you to be curious, to tend to your dreams as though you were a child exploring new territory, that place you've never been, uncharted territory. Here you are weaving. There are plants you've never seen, colors you've never experienced. What are they teaching you? Why is the sky pink and the grass yellow? Everything about your dream is about you. Your dreams are unique to you. Celebrate them. Even the ones that are scary are not intended to cause you harm or cause you to embody fear. They're to translate the fear into joy, to transform our wounds into freedom. I had a dream when I was in my 30s. I was looking into the mirror and I had big bruises all around my neck where it looked like somebody had been trying to strangle me, choke me. And in the dream, as I'm looking in the mirror, I said out loud, "Someone tried to hurt me." And after I said those words, after I gave my voice expression, the bruises transformed into these beautiful watercolored flowers that ringed my neck. So it transformed right before my eyes from a wound to a gift, to a thing of beauty. And that's how dreams will guide us. There's a sacred wisdom process in working with our dreams, especially when we attend to our dreams as we would a much revered, precious teacher. I said before that our dreams are alive, that they're a function of our consciousness. And as our brain states change, our dreams will evolve. Dreams speak in the language of symbols, and they're very seldom meant to be taken literally. In your dream, you are the dream. You are the dreamer. And you are every other aspect of your dream. You are your complete environment. You are the grass. You are the trees. Everything in your dream is alive and it's about you. And it's there to teach you. For example, if you're outside and you're in a storm, the rain is about you. The thunder and the lightning are about you. If you're wearing a raincoat or holding an umbrella, that's about you. Are you prepared for the rain? Are you unprepared? If you're wearing a coat, stick your hand in the pocket. What's in the pocket? Be curious. What is it? The most valuable tool you have in working with your dreams is your curiosity. I wonder, what does this mean? Ask it, because your dream is alive. And every aspect of your dream, from the tiniest leaf to the thunder, to the color of the sky, it is about you and it's giving you information. When you're working with your dreams, use all of your senses. Am I warm? Am I cold? Am I inside, outside? Is it light or dark? Is it morning, evening? Is it lunchtime? Am I hungry? Am I full? What am I wearing? What's in the pockets? Do I have a purse? Do I have a backpack? I wonder what's in there. Am I alone or am I with someone? Everything is about you. The time period, the color of the landscape, it's all about you. And it's all there for your good, for your benefit, for your edification, for your fulfillment of your life's purpose. One of the important aspects of dreaming is its impact on our relationships. Because dreams are alive and they're inviting us to be in relationship with them. They're inviting us to be in a deeper relationship with ourselves. Because in our dreams, our conscious mind and our subconscious mind align to create cohesion between our dreaming world and our waking world. Our dreams continue to evolve and change and grow, just as we continue to evolve and grow. And as our outer world evolves and our inner world evolves, we recognize that everything in our life changes with every breath that we take, with every thought that we think. We take in new life. We are renewed with every breath, with every thought, with every heartbeat, with every dream. A single dream is like a diamond with infinite number of facets to reflect the light of our being. There is no other light but our light, because we're part of one light. And the dreams allow us to examine all of the facets, not just the ones that are right here, but like an immense disco ball where the light is reflected and refracted all around and through. And we get to experience different perspectives, different aspects of our being, until we recognize that we are infinite in our abilities. We are infinite in our consciousness. Nothing is withheld from us. And every dream holds a key to our awakening. I began to seriously work with my dreams in my 30s. And my dreams have seriously been my biggest, best, and boldest teachers. I write them down by hand because I'm old school and because I go right from recording my dream into exploring them. There's no right or wrong way to do dream work. There's only your way, and your way is the perfect way. Dreams are always an invitation to our greater good, to joy and delight, to insight, to our evolution. Dreams are our portal to awakening. And they're free. Every night we go to night school, and we can choose to be as involved or as removed from that process as we choose, because we are the chooser, the absolute decider of our experience. I have a couple dreams I'd like to share with you before my time is up, unless my time is up already. And one is a prophetic dream. And I had a dream one night. It was about my dad. And I have one sister and my mom, and we were all there. And my dad I know this sounds disgusting, had 3 eyebrow hairs that were long and in his soup. And I said, Dad, let me cut those eyebrow hairs. No, 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 no. I said, Dad, please, let me cut those eyebrow hairs. They're in your soup. And he said, oh, all right, finally. And my mother and my sister were all like, no, don't touch him, don't touch him, don't touch him. Anyway, I got the scissors and trimmed these 3 very long eyebrow hair. And I woke up. No, before that, I left out the most important part. His whole eyebrow disappeared. I only cut the 3 hairs, but his whole eyebrow disappeared. And my mother and my sister started screaming, and I started sobbing, and I woke up and I was sobbing uncontrollably. About 6 weeks later, I'm sitting next to my youngest son. He's about 9 years old, and he's reading a book about mummies. And he said, Mommy, why did the Egyptians shave the eyebrows of people after they died? And I felt like the top of my head was blowing off. And I instantly knew that my father was going to die soon, and that I was going to midwife that process. So I made arrangements to go see my dad and make sure he knew that I knew that it was my job to take care of my mother. And it was exactly 9 months from the day of my dream to my father transitioning. And I'm so grateful for that dream. That would not mean the same thing to anybody else, but to me, it meant the world. And that's it.
Wow, Suze, that was really amazing. And when you said 9 months, I couldn't help but think 9 months to have a baby and then 9 months, some kind of connection there. I thoroughly enjoyed your presentation. I know we've got some questions in the chat here. Where did it go? Michael is asking, what do you feel, Suze, is the difference between dreams, lucid dreams, and astral traveling?
Well, that's a great question. Well, I think that we have dreams. I think we have dreams where we are the observer of our dreams, where we are the witness to the unfolding of the dream, and that they are teaching dreams for us. For the example of my father, That was not a lucid dream for me. I was very much there, and I was very much a participant in that dream. I wasn't just a witness, I was a participant. I I saw the the eyebrow hairs flopping around in the soup. Um, I felt the scissors in my hands. I was very aware of cutting those three hairs, and I knew the import of it. I just didn't understand the import of it. So I didn't know the meaning, but I knew that it was a big deal. Um, so a lucid dream are wonderful dreams. Um, and I think that the power of that is that they teach us that we have control, that we get to choose, even in our subconscious state, that we get to choose, that we are the choosers, the ultimate deciders of our experience. And we get to take that power with us and bring that into our reality. And we get to learn to trust ourselves through our astral dreams. Through our lucid dreams. And I think that that is such an important lesson, especially when we live in a world where we are told, no, you didn't see that. No, you don't feel that way. Suze, you really don't feel that way. And it's like, oh, yes, I do. And it's like, oh, no, you don't. That didn't really happen. Oh, yes, it did. And so it's being able to say, I don't like what's happening here. And I think that's so powerful, for especially for people who have experienced trauma in their lives. I have control. I may not have control in my waking world, but I have control in my dreaming world. And that is such an important part of our healing journey, that we are sovereign. And our dreams teach us about that sovereignty. And astral travel, I consider astral travel to be a playground. I just consider that to be, and we may be speaking about different things. But for me, astral travel is such a fascinating, joyful experience. Maybe not what I'm viewing, and maybe not the situation that I'm in, but the power to be able to do that, the power to be able to fully engage in another time, another place with other people is such an incredible opportunity. I don't really have 3D language to explain the immensity of that experience for me.
What an incredible answer, Suze. I got another one here up from Eric's 3333. This one's a bit tricky. How do we deal with dream invaders, which we are certain are not us? And so, I appreciate this question because it's like I'm with Suze, like you're the rabbit, you're the wolf, it's you chasing you, it's you running away from you. But I too struggle with this sometimes. It's like somebody else is in my head, or what do you have to say about this, Suze?
Well, two answers came to mind, or two possible scenarios came to my mind. The first is I would ask them why they're there. Because dreams are your territory. And I love the word dream invaders. So clearly there's a belief that they do not belong there. Yeah. And they're trespassing. And so I would politely or not so kick them to the curb. If you're sure that they're not yours. sometimes people and things show up in our dreams that we don't like, but they're there for us anyway. The second answer that came to me, though, and it's something that I didn't cover in the presentation, but I had intended to, so I'm really grateful for this question, is in our dream time, very much like a shamanic space, we have allies. We have people, maybe ancestors. We have figures in our dreams that show up all of the time. You know, they're recurring characters like in a movie. And they are there to be our allies. Dragons are very often present in our dreams, and they are our protectors. So when we are in dream time, we are never unprotected. We are never left alone, and we are never unsafe. And that is something that I would really like to dispel right now, is that in our dreams, we may feel like we're in a vulnerable state, but we are not. We are always protected, and we always have complete control over our dreaming experience. Gina, it's just like hypnosis. If you don't like where you're going, you pull yourself out, just like that, right? And that's exactly the way it is with our dream. You never give up your control, because you are a sovereign being, whether you're sleeping, whether you're awake, whether you're in hypnosis or any other altered state of consciousness. We are always a sovereign being. Now, there may be conditions in our outer life that would seem to take those choices away from us, but our internal self, is sovereign. And I would kick them to the curb if they do not belong there.
That's a great answer. It reminded me of intrusive entities. You know, even if they're being really kind to us, they have no business. They're feeding off our energy out. It's technically our break time, but hopefully we can just sneak in this one more question here, Suze. Why do you think some people dream in color while others do not? Is there an energetic reason behind this, or soul reason why? What are your thoughts about dreaming in color, not dreaming in color?
I hadn't really thought about this, so thank you, Michael. I didn't think that I dreamt in color, but I do. It's just that color is not necessarily, colors haven't been my teachers. The colors of the things haven't been my teachers. In biologically, I have a red-green color impairment. And so I think that might have had something to do with dreaming in color and not dreaming in color. But I do dream in color, but they're not the vivid kind of colors, for example, that Rick dreams in. Rick dreams in Technicolor. But I have noticed that something is green or something, or I'm wearing a red dress. So when colors come in my dreams, I really pay attention to them. So I think it may be just biologically who we are, and maybe how important color is to us in our waking life.
It's a very interesting answer. I mean, everybody dreams differently, and the way we dream, the communication might vary in itself. In a past life, I was a catfish. I lived in dark, murky places. So even though I had eyeballs, I didn't use them. So if I'm dreaming about that time and place, well, it makes sense that I'm not seeing. So as Dragon Dreamers out there can see, it's too easy to slip into timelessness with Suze. I feel like it's like that with all of our presenters today. And even in the chat, Julia's been chatting up a storm there. We've had folks join in all day with us since the beginning. And Suze was actually here for the pre-conference at 8 a.m. live with us. So it's been such a delight to have you, Suze. I really appreciate you. You can see on the screen Suze's website, thelittlehonediaries.com. Make sure you order her book, Volume 1. I got my copy here, signed by Suze, and Volume 2 is coming out. It looks the same, but it has a blue cover. So, Suze, thank you so much for coming. I'm going to remove you from the stage.
My
Really
pleasure.
appreciate it. What we're going to do now, Dragon Dreamers, is how are we doing for time? So, let me see here. So at 5:10, that's when I'll formally just thank everybody again. We'll return from the pine tree forest. We will close sacred space. And then Rick is going to provide us with more sound healing. I have a backup video if for some reason there's a tech issue. And we'll just have like a final connection to the chat. We are committed to ending things at 6 p.m. And you know what's really cool? If we end a little bit earlier, that's fine. You know, it's kind of a pet peeve of mine when people are finished, for example, at like 5:55, and then they just kind of talk aimlessly to get to the 6 p.m. mark. Like, we don't have to do that, you know? So I feel really good about today and honoring people's time. We had some, sound hiccups there at the beginning, but we were able to get through it. Power of the soul tribe, power of community. Here's my gemstone video, 6 of 6. This one here is a little insight about